You need to know how to track progress in better playing the correct way because most people do not, and it is holding back their confidence. So, what I mean is, most people don't know how to track progress correctly because they don't fit into the right mindset and they fit into the wrong comparisons of themselves to other skill level that is very high. The first thing you have to know is what is a good guitar player, or as I would say, a good progressor. I would say you are a good player as long as you are making continual forward progression over time, which is a lot easier than most people would probably think. First thing you must understand is that it takes consistency, and what I would say is the bare minimum you can do is 20 minutes a day. There's some study shit, I can't remember, but it's around 100 hours of something a year would put you in the top 95% of people worldwide. So you play 20 minutes a day for a year, you're in the top 5%. And then now you do that for another year, you're in the top 5% of the top 5%, and so on. And then this effect triples if you make it just an hour a day, which I believe is very attainable for most people, especially if you keep it very simple and say an average of an hour a day or 7 hours a week. On a side note, a really good way to track and make sure you're getting enough in is maybe track weekly progress, because you might have a busy Wednesday and a clear Friday, where on Friday you can get 3 hours, but on Wednesday you can only hit 20, and then those kind of offset due to the times adding up. This awareness of time brings me into the second point of sort of the debate of the 10,000 hour mastery, which is probably true. I would honestly have no idea because I have not played 10,000 hours. But what I do know is if you were to just do that for 10,000 hours straight, you wouldn't get very much better. So obviously, along with the hours, there's something of doing what is best for the best output. To get a good marginal output for what you put in, you have to understand where you lack, which is the hardest thing for many players to do. When I was in very early stages, I would have trouble figuring out what I was bad at because I was bad at everything but couldn't figure out what was the worst. And an easy trick you can do is you need to have family, friend, maybe even some random person online listen to your playing and just let them critique you, because they will probably expose the biggest constraint in your playing, which is a very good thing. So now that we're on this concept of learning the biggest constraint on the neck, that is what you must focus on to get the best marginal output for whatever time you put in. Now, practice everything, but you always got to be focusing on something. For example, I was really bad at being really syncopated with my rhythm, and it was kind of off, rushed, dragging. And once I started counting it out, like the 1 and 2, and then playing riffs and stuff Arduino like that, it internalized rhythm into me better, and that gave me the biggest exponential jump of growth. Because a very common misconception on guitar is people think when you put in hours, time, yada yada, your growth looks like that. Some people think it looks like that, which is a logical way to go about thinking, but that's just not true. People that are more experienced would understand that kind of just looks like this fucked up shape. What do these progress charts I just showed you show? It just shows that you have learning guitar the most optimal way is going to require a lot of self-analysis, because to get those big jumps, obviously they come with a plateau, because you learn why you have that plateau, you practice it, you fix it in, say, a month to keep it simple, you get that quick jump, but then you have something new holding you back. So always figuring out what's holding you back the most is how you get the biggest marginal output for however much time you put in, whether it's an hour or even fucking 10 hours a week. We reached the big topic of how do you self-analyze. This is kind of hard for people to think about, which is rightfully so. It's a very complicated thing to think about. And recording what you're doing on the songs you're trying to learn is a very good starting point. But if you're a beginner, you don't really know how to hear flaws all that well due to the lack of experience. So, as I said before, having someone listen to it and just tell you what you suck at the most could be very beneficial. You could also try some sort of guitar journaling, something I tried. I see why it works for people, and you should definitely give it a try if you can't think of anything else, because it just helps you track what you've been focusing on the most. And just by writing down what you've been focusing on the most, you'll think of these things that are like, oh shit, I have not done a good job at addressing this problem. And then you start addressing the problem, and you write down whatever address. So that is a very effective way to progress optimally. So now that I've revealed the few secrets to you that help you really get the best marginal benefit for however much time you input, in the comments, let me know what was either your favorite thing I said or something you think I completely missed that is super important for getting the best out of your time input. As always, any suggestions or any need of help, also leave that in the comments, and I will do my best to either produce a video or just explain it to you right on the spot.